I've seen her with various groups, and she's always been on stage with her trusty cello. But today, we have a real treat. She's going back to her roots when she first started. And I was chatting to her earlier, and she started playing guitar at the age of 16, and did her first public performance at the age of 16, and tonight she's playing on the very same guitar. Now, we've got a global phenomenon you've all heard of, called Taylor Swift, and there's sort of parallels here because they're both tall, they're both beautiful, they've got long hair, they play a guitar, and Taylor has, her fans are called Swifties. So tonight we're all going to be righties. No lefties in the crowd, just righties. So Rebecca's coming on now, and she's going to perform with her guitar a set of originals and covers, and let's make her feel really welcome. Welcome to Neurum Creek.
She blew up in my door. She tapped upon my window and dropped leaves upon my floor. She told me to get up and to celebrate the day, to unpack all my clothes and books and convinced myself that things would change if only I held on. But then I went up to the river and I threw your name right in, and I knew that it was real this time. I could begin again, and now I'm home. Now I'm home. Now I'm home. Spring woke me this morning with clarity and grace. She brought blue wrens to my window and a smile to my face, and she told me there was sunshine and a sky of brilliant blue, and she said, come out and feel it, it's all out here for you. I'm home. Now I'm home. Now I'm home. I'm home. I thought that was a good one to start on tonight. Coming to Neurum Creek does feel like coming home. In fact, when I arrived here yesterday, the first thing that Don said to me was, welcome home. and it certainly feels like it. And the other reason why I wanted to start with that song was that I wrote it out in Koran in the Sunshine Coast hinterland exactly 18 years ago today, I realised. So if that song was a person, it'd be at the bar drinking with Don tonight. Here is a little rite of passage. Fortunately, it's just a song. But some of you may remember the days when I used to get up on stage and sing with the guitar. And back then, every set, or almost every set I would sing, would include a Judy Smalls song. And I've been really enjoying singing with the Judy Smalls Songbirds, and we'll be singing again at the Mullaney Music Festival, so check us out there. But the song I'd like to sing for you tonight isn't in that particular concert. But I don't know about you, but I was deeply disappointed by the result of the referendum at the end of last year. And at the time, this song kept coming to me, and this song tells a story of the late, great Aboriginal artist and activist Ruby Hunter. This is a song called Stolen Gems. Can I have a little less guitar, please? They promised her a circus, they promised her sweets, they promised her clowns, they promised her treats, when they took her from the dusty small town streets of her family home. Never again to see her mother's eyes, never again to hear her sister's cries, never again believe a white man's lies for the rest of her life. Those who live charmed lives from the start say we carry no guilt, for they play no part in decisions that tore the very heart from a people's breast. It may not be our guilt, but it is our shame. If we turn our backs now, if we bury the claim, if we sit on our hands in apathy's name, it may not be our guilt, but it is our shame. Find a place to sleep at night, away from the noise, away from the fight, and tell herself everything will be alright when the morning came. And she drowned herself in a sea of blues. Another black kid on the street ain't news. She had nothing to win, she had nothing to lose, not even her name. Those who passed by her every day never looked in her eyes before they turned away, turned her into an anecdotal play for their friends at night. It may not be our guilt, but it is our shame. If we turn our backs now, if we bury the claim, if we sit on our hands in apathy's name, it may not be our guilt, but it is our shame. I saw her again just the other night. She was singing the songs in a bright spotlight, and no one in the audience averted their sight from her face this time. She was singing it proud, she was singing it strong, and the message was clear at the core of the song. We've a distance to go, but we don't have long to bring the children home. Those who pass by, those with their charmed lives, all their days in their serious suits and their Chardonnays, cannot see that if they'd only meet halfway, they'd find an outstretched hand. It may not be our guilt, but it is our shame. If we turn our backs now, if we bury their claim, if we sit on our hands in apathy's name, it may not be our guilt, but it is our shame. It may not be our guilt, but it is our shame. If we turn our backs now, if we bury their claim, if we sit on our hands in apathy's name, it may not be our guilt, but it is Thank you. And before singing that song, I did want to actually acknowledge the Jinnabara people, the traditional custodians of the land and waters on which we meet here this weekend, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging as well. So thank you for them for keeping these places alive for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Well, back when I was in high school, my brother, who was only 23 at the time, decided he would ride his mountain bike from the tip of Cape York to the tail of Tasmania, mostly along the National Trail, which was a series of stock routes and horse trails and other tracks, no doubt song lines as well, that run from far north Queensland, Cooktown, right down to Healesville. And he and his friend Alex were the first people to attempt this journey by mountain bike and complete it. So they did the whole 5,000 something kilometres in about 5 months. And I was so incredibly proud that he would attempt to do this. So I did what I was just starting out to do, and that was write songs. So I wrote him this little song called Song for Dave. And it has a chorus, a very singable chorus. So if you'd like to join in, if you know it, sing along. If you don't know it, I'm sure you will by the end of the song. This is Song for Dave. Your name and it's calling you forth. The time's drawing nearer and it's beckoning north. You'll board the train soon and be on your way. But before you go, I just wanna say, alright, boy, right. Take your dreams and let them run wild. Explore the wonders our earth has to share, and we wish you the best, and we know you'll take care. So ride, boy, ride. You've had adventures, large ones and small, but this looks to be the biggest and the most exciting of all. You're hoping to go where no bike's gone before. We admire your courage and pray you don't fall. So ride, boy, ride. Take your dreams and let them run wild. Explore the wonders our earth has to share, and we wish you the best, and we know you'll take care. So ride, boy, ride. We know we'll miss you, but we'll survive. We can trace your journey on the map as you ride. In spirit, I guess we'll all be by your side, and I'll be thinking of you when I look to the sky. So ride, boy, ride. Take your dreams and let them run wild. Explore the wonders our earth has to share, and we wish you the best, and we know you'll take care. So ride, boy, ride. So ride, boy, ride. Take your dreams and let them run wild. Explore the wonders our earth has to share, and we wish you the best, and we know you'll take care. So ride, boy, ride. So ride, boy, ride. Oh, ride, boy, ride. Well, it's been a little while since Dave's been on an adventure like that. Dave, like myself, we've both taken on the adventure of parenting. Whew. And he's got a couple of teenage girls now, and I've of course got Hamish here, who's 6.5, and yeah. So this next song I want to share with you, I learnt from the singing of Roy Bailey, and it was written by Rob Johnson, a wonderful English singer-songwriter. I believe he wrote it after a nursery school, so it's kind of like a kindergarten. A government-run nursery was closed down due to lack of funds back in the 1990s, and I feel that this song is still very relevant and comes in my mind regularly for reasons which will become apparent in the song, but also because Hamish here goes to a wonderful but chronically underfunded state school. And I've just been made aware recently of the growing chasm between public and private education in this country. And on that note, if anybody wants to sponsor Hamish, she's doing a fun run next week where he'll be doing some busking over the weekend to try and raise money for an air conditioning unit in our tuck shop so our poor convener doesn't die of heat exhaustion this summer. So if you want to chip into that, please feel free. This song is called More Than Enough. There's always the money for missiles and tanks, always the money for generals and banks, always the money for new ways to kill, but a limited budget for you when you're ill. There's always enough for a war, but there's never enough for the poor. There's always the money for tunnels and roads, for opera and ballet, but not jobs and homes, for MPs' expenses and fat subsidies, but never the money for nurseries. And the well-off, they always want more. So there's never enough for the poor. There's always the money for tests they can pass, or fail you for not being white middle class. There's always the goodies for those with most greed, but never the money for those in most need. There's a pay rise if you're on the board, but there's never enough for the poor. Consider how little of life that we know. We bring nothing, take nothing, pass through and go. All of us poor when it comes to the night, in need of the darkness, in need of the light. If we learn to want less and love more, there'd be enough for the poor. If we learn to love less, want less and love more, there'd be enough for the poor. 'Cause there's more than enough for us all. I'm serious about the fun run. Excellent. Been away, now I'm coming home. 2-hour flight seems far too slow. Ignore the snores from the man beside. I just keep looking out my window it's hard to tell from up this high just what is ocean and what is sky, and it's hard to say just how I feel when all I see is shapes and colours, they can shift my heart. I wanted to show you, I wished you were there. All my excitement I wanted to share, but it's hard to tell from up this high just what is ocean and what is sky, and it's hard to say just how I feel when all I see is when it's time to land. I gather my thoughts before I stand. I walk the tarmac, I'm soon inside. It's been a strange and bumpy ride, but it's hard to tell from down this low just to where I've come from and where I'll go, and it's hard to say just how I feel when all I see is you. I see is you. Thank you. Well, I had the great pleasure of living in the UK for a number of years with the wonderful Donald down here. Some of you may have seen me play with Donald before. Hooray! So I lived up in Scotland, and I did have one occasion where I took myself on the train down to London to visit my good friend and amazing quirky songwriter, Kath Tate. And some of you might know Kath. I know some of you do know Kath. And so I got to see her play one night at a little folk club, and then the next day we met up for lunch, and she took me to one of her favourite attractions in London, which is, if you know Kath, this will kind of make sense, but she took me to the Hunterian Medical Museum, which is an odd place which has about 2,000 apparently artefacts in glass jars from the start of the surgical kind of medical discoveries in the UK back in the late 1700s, so quite a time ago now. So, you know, there were hearts and brains and animal parts. But the thing that sticks in my mind the most from that little visit to the Hunterian Medical Museum was there on a shelf, beautifully backlit, pickled in a jar, the Bishop of Durham's rectum. Now, I don't actually know the circumstances under which the Bishop of Durham's rectum came to be in that glass jar, but it does seem like he's forever to be an asshole. This is one of Kat's songs, with Strangers and Foreigners. Lots of people think when they own their own homes they can keep the immigrants out of their living zones. Strangers and foreigners are everywhere, but they don't bother me, no, I don't care. If you look at yourself, then you just might find a stranger or a foreigner in your own mind. So be kind to yourself and have some care for strangers and foreigners everywhere. And lots of people worry inside their hearts about what other people do with their private parts. Gays and lesbians are everywhere, but they don't bother me, no, I don't care. If you look at yourself, then you just might find that you're a little bit that way inclined. So be kind to yourself and have no fear of gays and lesbians everywhere. Cold hearts, closed minds, cold shoulders from people who don't like change. They say variety is the spice of life, then they all try to act the same. And lots of people think that they're totally cool, and they frown upon the poor town fool. Foolish people are everywhere, but they don't bother me, no, I don't care. If you look at yourself, then you just might find a big fat dickhead in your own mind. So be kind to yourself and have some care for fools and dickheads everywhere. What kind of a civilization where small-minded prejudice reigns? Inferior behaviour from creatures with superior brains. But lots of people think when they own their own homes they can keep the immigrants out of their living zones. Strangers and foreigners are everywhere, but they don't bother me, no, I don't care. If you look at yourself, then you just might find a stranger or a foreigner in your own mind. So be kind to yourself and have some care for strangers and foreigners everywhere. For gays and lesbians everywhere, for fools and dickheads everywhere, for strangers and foreigners everywhere. Thank you.
You were telling us about it.
Yes, there is some money going in the swear jar, thanks Mary. Yes, I don't think my boy hasn't heard me use words like that. She met him at the door. He was in his Sunday best, a pair of flared jeans and a new Symphony's vest. And he kissed her on the cheek as they stood there on the deck. He could faintly smell geranium on her hair and on her neck. And she was wearing turquoise, a ribbon in her hair. It didn't really match her dress, she didn't really care. And as they strolled down the driveway, she took him by the hand. Where they were going, no one knew, perhaps another land. They'd been walking for an hour when the moment finally came. She breathed in deep and out again and firmly held his gaze. She said, I'm sick of building walls with carefully chosen words, laying them down one by one till nothing can be heard. She said, I'm sick of building fences, they're blocking out my view. I wanna breathe, I wanna let it go, I wanna see you. She said, I wanna love with an open heart, I wanna dream with open eyes, I wanna be open. Gently said, I know how you feel. For years I've been living a life unreal. For so long I held back all that I felt, resenting the hand I thought I'd been dealt. But then one day I woke up, and now it all seems clear. I can breathe, I can let it out, I can live without fear. He said, I'm gonna love with an open heart, I'm gonna dream with open eyes, I'm gonna be open. So together they continued on down the road. Flowers started blooming from the intentions they sowed. He said, I'm loving with an open heart, I'm dreaming with open eyes, I am open. She said, I'm loving with an open heart, I'm dreaming with open eyes, I am Thank you. So I mentioned our referendum at the end of last year. Back in 2016, the UK had a referendum, and likewise I think they were, in my opinion, duped into leaving the EU with the Brexit vote. And this next song was written by an amazing songwriter called Grace Petrie. I stumbled upon Grace at Woodford a couple of years ago, and I'm looking forward to seeing her next month in Brizzy. But when I heard this song, it's off her brand new album, I heard this song and I thought, oh, I love it, I have to sing it. And This is called Fixer Upper. I woke up from an awful dream in June of 2016 in a far-right fake news up universe. Though we sang the mountain goats loud enough to bruise our throats, every year that followed just got worse and worse. And I read the warning signs of these dark and troubled times. Now I'm trying to keep my head above the waterline. I'm losing sleep on sleeping masses, counting sheep and greenhouse gases. As doomsday clocks and TikToks say we're running out of time. But I think this world's a fixer-upper, broken in the middle of a salvage yard. Yeah, I know it will be hard. All we've got now is each other, and we're overwhelmed and wondering where to start. Yeah, I know it will be hard. And maybe I'm delusional, but I think it could be beautiful if we could only keep from losing heart. We might still have time to build something better from the parts. When I was young and still naive, I thought that it was guaranteed that things would change for better, not for worse. And now that the born and grown is pillaged like the end of Rome, it feels just like we're going 90 in reverse. As misinformation thrives, we are fighting for our lives, just to make sure when the smoke clears there'll be anything left. The road ahead feels bleak and jaded, all my future hopes have faded. I'm sinking over, drinking, overthinking and bereft. But I think this world's a fixer-upper, broken in the middle of a salvage yard. Yeah, I know it will be hard. All we've got now is each other, and we're overwhelmed and wondering where to start. Yeah, I know it will be hard. And maybe I'm delusional, but I think it could be beautiful if we could only keep from losing heart. We might still have time to build something better from the parts. Something better from the parts. So not long we will organize, stronger when we unionize. The sorrow shining in your eyes I'm keeping at bay. Don't warn, we will organize, stronger when we empathize. Resistance rising like the tides to wash all the winter away. To wash it all away. So grab a spade, grab a hammer, plant some seeds, raise a banner, cut the leaves and rake the leaves left by the passing storm. Boil the kettle, build a movement, every day some small improvement, ready ground to lay down all the world yet to be born. So lace your boots and find the shoots still struggling through the knotted roots. The saplings laid by other folks we will turn into mighty oaks. The battle scars, the broken parts, the dreams that outlasted these hearts. Oh, everything you dream is possible, it's waiting to be made. So my comrade, come grab a spade, because this world's a fixer-upper, broken in the middle of a salvage yard. Yeah, I know it will be hard. I go singing for my supper, dragging half the contents of a salvage yard. Lord, I know it will be hard. Maybe I'm delusional, but I think you something better from the past. Thank you. That was quite a lot of words to remember at this time of night. This is usually my bedtime. Well, I think I've got time for just one more song. So, thank you. Thank you so very much for coming and listening. I don't actually know how many... Oh, there's lots of people out there too. Oh, how lovely. It has been an absolute joy to come and play back here at Neurum Creek on my own. It's been a very long time since I've done a festival on my own, as many of you would know. Some of you don't even know that I used to do this all the time. Before I went to Scotland and met Donald, I was a solo artist. And I've really enjoyed the music that Donald and I have made over the years, and we will continue making music together. I don't know how often I'll do this solo thing, but it's been lovely to share some of these favourite songs with you tonight. And, oh, hello, Rose. I didn't know you were there. Hi. Oh, I do, of course, have CDs up at the back. I've also got a couple of, I don't know, 1,000 left in my garage. But yeah, there's CDs up the back, and there's I'm also on Bandcamp. My solo full-length album I actually did sell out of, so if you want that album, All I See, that's downloadable from Bandcamp. Yeah, thanks so much, Ange and Don and the crew and everybody for putting on this amazing festival. Thank you. And thank you, of course, to our volunteers and to Dave and to Mark on sound. It sounds beautiful up here. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you with this little one. This is called Listening to My Heart. You have a wonderful weekend. One morning I woke up, my face against your chest. Your heart was beating stronger than the one inside my breast. Focused on your rhythms instead of on my own. I tried so hard to be like you, so I wouldn't feel alone. But I'm listening to my heart again. I had visions of me drowning in the sea of green. To dive deeper, never to be seen. I somersaulted backwards and I landed on my head, and it felt like my whole body had been fashioned out of lead. But I'm listening to my heart again. I'm listening to my heart again. Oh, no, oh, no. That I'd passed through all those darkened days when I thought I couldn't cope, and the sun was streaming through the clouds and the mountains were alight. said aloud, everything's gonna be alright. 'Cause I'm listening to my heart again. 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 Oh, no, thank you. Have a great weekend.
Keep it going, keep it going. Wow! Hey! All right, how good was that? Whoa! Gosh, we're all even bigger fans than before. That was amazing. Well, we're going to have a short break before we bring on